Excellency Ambassador Arley Gill to the platform. Ambassador Gill.
Thank you very much, Ms. Laguerre. And I must say that I feel rather humbled by the nice things you have to say about me. Almost for a minute, they didn't recognize myself. Thank you so much for the warm welcome, and to say pleasant good evening to all of our distinguished lecturer this evening, and to also use this opportunity to commend the organizers of this very important forum, who I believe is continuing to blaze the trail for the work of the indigenous peoples here in Grenada and, of course, the Caribbean. Remembering the Kalinago people. Camahon is what the Kalinago people called this beautiful island. As we all know, the Kalinago people were the first known inhabitants of what we now call Grenada. However, the invaders, plunderers, and conquerors that sighted their beautiful island called it Conception. How do we as a people justify outsiders, as the Europeans were, to change the name of a land that belonged to another people? Was it power, white supremacy, arrogance, or downright disrespect? The answer, in my respectful view, is all of the above. As a student and a teacher of history, it still pains me that I had to teach my students that the Kalinago people were warlike people and the Arawaks were peaceful people. Thankfully, I know better now, and I implore each of us to investigate what we know about the history of the Kalinago people and to act based on the truth of their lives, culture, and history here in Camahon. Resisting conquer, plunder, and domination is natural to any people. The Kalinago people were a self-determined people who protected their families and their land. To the invaders, they were labeled warlike. We need to re-examine from whose perspective we are understanding and retelling history. To the civilized, quote unquote, Europeans, these non-white people were supposed to be docile and easily dominated. To be the opposite was to be seen and written about as savages and warlike. We must be truth tellers. We must stand on the right side of our history. The Kalinago people were a proud and determined people who stood up for their island and defied being dominated and enslaved. They surrendered not to the Europeans, but to their deep conviction in freedom and self-determination. Leapers Hill is a testament to freedom and resistance, and not a reminder of European conquest and plunder. As Grenadians, we have a duty to debunk the myths about the Kalinago people, and we have a duty to humanize and celebrate their contributions to our civilization here in Grenada and across the region. The lie that the Europeans told that they committed suicide rather than surrender to the French must no longer be repeated to our children and to future generations. We have an opportunity to tell the truth about our past. Only a true and honest retelling of our past will help us inherit the future we're envisioning as Grenadians. Our children and future generations must be taught that the Europeans committed genocide against the Kalinago people, and the actions against the Kalinago people were indeed crimes against humanity. There are no doubts in my mind, and there should be no doubt in our collective consciousness that the Kalinago people is deserving of reparatory justice. And it is my great honor to endorse a Kalinago Day here in Grenada. I believe that history will remember us well if we can only put in proper perspective the contributions of our Kalinago people here on Camahon. I thank you so much for inviting me to this session this afternoon. I look forward eagerly to participate in the lecture and the question and answer session much later on.